Now, Honeybee's first question is Psychic Marin, when you say light a candle and do groundwork whenever you're referring to this lesson, is there a particular color candle that you like to use, or does it really not matter in this sort of scenario?
That's a great question because it segues into something that I've done previously. I have broken my wheel of the year New Year's reading into different areas, meaning I've done multiple New Year's readings. I've done it before for my family, I've done it for me individually, and I've done it for my business. And so that's a great example in tying with your question about candles, because if I was doing it for my business and I'm focused more on either money or success, I would use green for money. Purple, if you think of that Crown Royale bag that's in purple, if you think of the crown, purple is often associated with royalty and regalness. And so purple is courage and confidence and success. So if I was focusing on business, I'd either do a green or a purple candle. Purple's sometimes a little trickier to find. If it was for my family, if there was a sense of maybe if I had a family member or a sense of healing that was really necessary, or maybe some difficulty in marriage or relationships, and I really want to bestow more of a healing essence to the reading, I would focus on blue. White, of course, we've talked about that many times, is more of a general all-purpose. If it was for me, myself individually, depending on the matter, health, blue, healing, blue. If it was for all-purpose, white. Anything new, adventurous, new business, or I'm really seeking new love, new romance. Yellow is new. If you think of the sun coming out and shining all of its bright rays, yellow is new. Red, love. So if you're really focusing on relationship, then you want to specifically do a wheel of the year read for relationship. But I would break it up into those categories. And if you wanted a one size fits all, I would stick with white, or you're more than welcome to even do like those little, the little tiny 2-inch candles, and be able to do a reading with this subject matter one day. Maybe the next day you do one for your family using a different colored candle. But ideally that you do this during the first month, obviously, because you'd like to have all of these months set out ahead of you in advance. So thank you for your question.
Sorry. And her follow-up question, Marin, is just kind of general about tarot. If a reader doesn't use reversals, would you still kind of count the reading as accurate? She has noticed that some readers choose not to use reversals. So how can this kind of impact the reading?
Yeah. You know, in my early years of more tarot learning and scholar work, I kind of would get frustrated in that mindset of those that just disregarded reversals, because I felt like, well, wait a second, it's coming up in a reverse position. So why would you interrupt that flow of energy by flipping it around? So I personally had a little bit of a hang up with that until years and years and years of experience. What I've realized is that as long as you have a system and you stick with that system and you're not veering away from it. We've talked about that before in terms of shuffling. As you shuffle the cards, you're sticking with a certain system rather than today doing it this way, tomorrow doing it a different way. Stick with the system with how you shuffle. Stick with the system and how you draw the cards. Either you pull them this way, which will result in this direction, or if you flip them this way, which is going to result in a different position. So keep your consistencies with how you flip cards. And then most importantly, keep consistent with asking and forming that intention before you draw the card or before you even begin your spread. You want to start with that clear mindset. So as long as you are consistent, if you do not want to read reversals, and some people choose not to, we've got 78 cards. And so in theory, by learning how to read reversals, you're doubling that in learning what the meanings are for both reversals and uprights. So if it's weighty, if it's difficult, especially as a newer reader, Or if it's just easiest to keep it very clear that this means this, then you don't need to worry about reading reversals. That's my opinion anyways. And I have been mentored by the top tarot scholars in the country, and there are mixed opinions. We all have our opinions, but if you want to have accuracy in your readings, keep it consistent. And if reversals don't work for you and they add another layer of complexity, don't do them. Maybe someday you may change your mind, but for now, stick with what you are comfortable with, but stay consistent.
Fantastic. Thank you, Honeybee, for submitting that question. And we hope that that answer from Psychic Marin kind of helped to stoke your tarot knowledge and your desire to learn more. And you can always do so whenever you contact one of our gifted psychics, like our wonderful tarot scholar here, Psychic Marin, which does provide us with a bit of a segue into shouting out the best ways to reach Psychic Marin here, especially if you do want a one-on-one reading experience with her, and not just about tarot. Like we like to keep the Tarot Thursdays themed because it flows well to, Tarot Thursday. But Psychic Marin here is gifted in so many other elements beyond just tarot. So if you visit her on our website, californiapsychics.com, or the California Psychics app, and I'll make sure to pull up that link right up on the screen right now. And you can also click the link in the description of the live stream you're watching right now. You can visit her profile on californiapsychics.com, as well as the ability to hop right into her call queue or book a set appointment slot for her so that you can get in a reading with her at the top of the hour and not wait into her queue. Now, Marin, I'm sure because you have been explaining things so well today, people are dying to hear it straight from you. When is the very next time that you'll be online and available for these one-on-one psychic readings for those who are seeking a guaranteed reading from you?
Thank you, Carson. I will be on this evening, and I typically work about 25 to 30 hours a week on the line, and I break up my hours to accommodate all the different time zones. So I usually have some afternoon and evening hours either every day or every other day. So I also take appointments. Some people want that appointment slot right at the top of the hour. And if you fall into that category, call customer service because they'll book you that appointment if you've got a really short lunch break or you can't wait in the queue for an unknown period of time. Those appointments are the best option for you to get that top of the hour phone call from me.
Yes, fantastic. And once again, you can click the link in the description of the live stream that you're watching right now to pull up Psychic Marin's profile on californiapsychics.com, where you can find all that information that she just shouted out as well. And again, this is the place where you can get that link is where you can get a guaranteed reading experience. We will try our best to answer as many card pull questions as we can, but we will have to end before the top of the hour. So we apologize in advance if we do not get to everybody's question today. But we will also be hosting our free live preview of California Psychics on this upcoming Monday as well. So as we move on to our general questions, Marin, switching up the format in the look of our live stream to get ready. We have one here that I saw from Angelica, who's wanting to know if you could pull a finance/career card for her in regards to any new income streams that could appear for her this year.
Okay, just 1 second. I'm really shuffling the cards for a second because I'm shifting into reading space and I want to ground just a little bit more. Okay, Angelica. So we're looking at extra income for Angelica this year. Oh, this is the 4 of Cups, and this individual is really in a stubborn frame of mind, so much so that they're going to overlook this little opportunity. And so what this card shows me is that the opportunities are coming to you, these side incomes. I feel like this is what we call a side hustle, but this is something where you may just overlook it. I am getting that this is something that you are asked to participate in, or this is more of like a partnership or a team or collaborating with a friend. You wouldn't have gotten that from this card. That's information being given to me just as a little favor for you. But this is something where you're going to be approached with an opportunity And if you're stubborn or your head's just not in the right place, this is an overlooked financial opportunity. Timing wise, this looks like it is closer to late March. I don't go into April. So late March is when I'm shown this. So keep your eyes peeled for this because it looks like an answer to that extra financial income that you're looking for.